Hi all. Welcome back to another week with another interesting story. Okay, so if you haven't watched the last week's episode, it was all about train romance, grandpa, TT, and interesting talk on LLMs and Charlie the parrot. Okay, so if you haven't watched that, do check out that video first, and it is quite interesting. Okay, so this week I'm going to talk about something very much interesting. It's a JavaScript related topic. Okay, so we are going to talk about the difference between war and let. Seems simple, right? But the story is very much funny. So it was a typical work week, and the bugs are behaving properly. Actually, I was able to fix them, find the solution, and able to give a good patch. And the meetings got over early. I finished my work in time, and everything is going as planned. So I thought, why not I go for a cup of coffee to reward myself, okay, and buy something from the canteen. So I invited my friend, and so we made one thing very clear in that quick catch up. We won't talk anything about work, nothing about technology. It will be only about trash talk, about movies, about music, and all those things, okay. So like we planned, we started moving to the pantry, and then I filled my glass with a cup of cappuccino. The aroma of the coffee was very nice, and out of a sudden, then my friend is like, "Okay, I will ask you a question. So if you answer that question properly, she will reward me with a unlimited pani puri set." Okay, so I was like, "Okay, what's the harm?" Then I asked her, like, what will be the topic? Is it some sort of very geopolitical topics you will be asking, very complex queries to me, and I have to answer that? Or is it some sort of a complex mathematical problem? And she told me that, no, it's just JavaScript. Okay. I was like, JavaScript, you want to ask question to me on JavaScript? That to an expert in React. I was like, with that pride, I was like, okay, shoot. So what do you want to ask me? So she was like, she took her laptop, and then she fired it up. I don't know why she had her laptop with her in the first place when we were going to the pantry. She unlocked her laptop and opened Visual Studio Code. Okay. And then she started to type something. And she is like, okay, she opened a for loop. It's a simple loop, right? And then she started typing something. Okay, something she is iterating, the count is increasing. I was like, okay, straightforward, what are you trying to do? And after some time, she finished writing her code. Okay, then she asked me, what will be the output of this question? Okay, just a for loop. I see as a timeout, and I see one console. Okay. What to think about this question, man? It will be 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's like, she had that grin in her face, okay. She asked me again, are you sure, Sathya? Is it 1, 2, 3, sure? I'm like, hey man, I'm doing this for like a long time, and it will be, of course, the correct answer, right? Whatever I told is correct only. She's like, okay. Then she changed the code a little bit. Only one change she made. She changed the var to let, and she ran the code again. She asked me to what will be the output of this code. Like I don't see any difference in both the code. The answer will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at that moment I understood something went wrong. Then I ran both the code. Then I found out something. The code with the var had all the 6s, and code with the let executed continuously. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, I understood what actually happened. It's like that Mendo's ad, like, Dimag ki batti jalai. So something like that happened, and then she started explaining me what's the actual difference between these two snippets of code. Anyway, I will be losing that unlimited set of pani puri. I don't know how much he will eat, but yeah, let's see what's the difference between both these scenarios. So basically, in case of let, imagine you have a robot, okay, and there is a developer in between, and there is a box. Okay, this box, near to that box, there is a sticky notes, And what this developer does is that on each iteration, the developer will take the sticky notes and update the number. For example, in the first iteration it will be 0, second iteration it will be 1, third iteration it will be 2, like that it will go. If it goes as planned, our output should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here is the catch. So instead of keeping like 1, 2, 3, all pasting each sticky notes inside that box, what this developer who written using var will do is that he will take the first sticky note, stick it in the like inside the box, update the number, initially 0. On the next iteration, he will take the same sticky note, he will change the 0 to 1 and stick it back. This process will continue. Okay. So at the end of the iteration, the number will be 6 after all the i's will get incremented. So at that scenario, when the robot who is going to speak it out comes and sees in the box, he or she will see that number 6. So on all the timeouts that will happen after 1 second, it will say 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay. So then what happened in the case of let, right? So in the let scenario, there is a small tweak. So each time when the developer takes a sticky note, places it inside the box, he will write the number 0 initially. Next time it will be 1, then third time it will be 2. But this time he is sticking out separate sticky notes. So when each robot comes into the picture, the robot will read the first number as 0, then the next robot will read this next number, the next time, the next iteration, the next second it will come, it will read the third number. So like that it can see each and every copies are there. Okay, so basically what we are trying to say is that imagine war is like a shared cupboard where each and everyone will place all their goods and commodities into the shelf. Anyone can access the books or anything from that shelf. And let is like a private locker where whoever places the things there, that person can only take things from that private locker. Okay, so let's see another example where let and var comes into the picture. This time it will be a little more clearer. Okay, so if you see in this example, so we have declared one function called devTeam. Okay, so inside an if block, what I have written is var snack is equal to pani puri, and outside the block I am mentioning a console log as snack. Okay, so in this case, when I ran this code, I have observed what we have observed, that the pani puri is printed, but we have defined this snack inside the if block, right? So what does that mean? So it's like the shared shelf. From there people are taking anything. So even if we declared it inside the like if block, it is a shared space, so anyone can take anything from it. That's why this console log printed. But in the second scenario, if we have observed, if we ran the same code, we will see that the console log snack is not defined. Why? Because this let is defined inside that functional block, so that's why it is not shared among the other places. So it's a private locker. So this is the main difference between var and let. So after all the deep soul crushing embarrassment, not only I lost the bet, but also I had to pay another 300 rupees on that unlimited pani puri set. But today we learned something very much interesting about var and let, and where should we use var and let, and what is the underhood working of these two data types. Okay, I hope it was a very interesting video. I hope all of you learned something from this short crisp video, and we will come back with another short story next week. Thank you so much all. Do subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Bye.